WXII 12 News at 10 starts right now.
It just left behind mud. It left behind a negative economic impact.
It is still a muddy mess in Mount Airy. We'll look at the signs of improvement just a couple of days after historic flash flooding swept through town. And walking for change, we'll look at how leaders in Greensboro would like to prevent shootings like the one that happened over the weekend, leaving a total of 9 victims. Couple of big stories and much more to get to here on a busy Monday night. We are starting, though, with a WXII 12 First Warning Weather Impact Day. We've seen what the impact was of this weekend storms in Mount Airy as we take a live look. But as we bring in Dave Aiken for the first time here, we have more concerns for more rain tomorrow. The last thing they need there, or in Stokes County or Patrick County, Virginia.
That's the truth, Kenny. And, tomorrow actually we could see some severe thunderstorms come up, along with the chance for some excessive rain and some of those cells that may develop that may lead to some isolated flooding. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Muggy out there this evening, however. It's 79 right now in the Triad, so still warm too. 82 in Charlotte, 81 Raleigh, 68 at Baboon, where they've gotten a decent amount of showers up there throughout the afternoon. A high today was 88 degrees, right on the average where we typically are this time of year. 71 is where we started this morning. It was a muggy one as well. Just some cloudy skies out there, partly cloudy to mostly clear the further west you go in the foothill counties, but then you get up here in the mountains and they've seen just a stream of showers come out of Virginia up through Ashe County, Allegheny, and then down into Watauga County up near Boone with some, they haven't really seen any thunderstorms. It's just been some rain, then some of it's been moderate to heavy at times too. Thankfully no flooding issues up there as of yet. But tomorrow we do have a moderate risk for flash flooding and damaging winds throughout the Piedmont, the mountains, and the foothill counties for your Tuesday. Clouds, muggy, little patchy fog may develop overnight towards tomorrow morning, and then some spotty showers are possible overnight as well. Lows will be between 65 and 70. Coming up, we're going to talk about the muggy week ahead that will lead to these shower and storm chances and any severe risks and excessive rainfall that may be in them. And we'll also have your weekend and 7-day forecast, all that and more in just a little while, Kenny.
Incredible video from inside a Mount Airy tanning salon shows the power of the flash flood that swept through parts of the foothills over the weekend. Tonight, the recovery continues in Surry and Stokes County. This is what it looked like at Mayberry Mart on East Pine Street in Mount Airy, not far from that tanning salon. All that water left behind a muddy, muddy mess. And while we are seeing some small signs of improvement, there is still weeks, if not months, of work still ahead. Bethany Cates takes us to Mount Airy after speaking with the mayor and people in a neighborhood that saw their street buckle right outside their front doors.
Residents in this Mount Airy neighborhood woke up to this huge hole in the road after just a few hours of rain from over the weekend. I even spoke to a neighbor right over here who tells me they're starting to put up these bricks to be prepared as the rain comes again.
I noticed that the rain was getting pretty bad, and then I started noticing that it was just like the river was kind of starting to overflow.
Parts of Mount Airy received half a foot of rain over the weekend.
Once I started seeing that the water was just kind of getting stocked up, then maybe not even about 10-15 minutes later, it was overflowing all onto the street,
resulting in a sinkhole and this buckle on Ames Avenue. Take a look at all this standing water in this video. This is what several businesses in the city also dealt with, leaving them now with lots of mud.
It just left behind mud. It left behind a negative economic impact. And they said that this flood, it rose 3 feet an hour.
Lucero says his 93-year-old grandmother was visiting and he had to think fast to get her to safety.
We noticed that we had to really take action, so I had to take my truck and just leave. But at that time, I was probably wading through water, maybe. It was definitely above tire level.
Mayor John Cawley says although this has brought about a lot of disappointment for many, there's been a true sense of community pulling together to get back on their feet.
The other thing that I love about this community is it's other-centered. And so they've had lots of volunteers. People have gone out of their way. Trials and tribulations, I think, show what kind of character's inside. And this particular neighborhood right here of businesses has tremendous character.
Ash tells me he's filed a report with the city, hoping that they can come out and fix it as soon as they can. Coming to you from Mount Airy, I'm Bethany Cates for WXII 12 News.
And right now on our website, WXII12.com, we have a link where you can donate to the local chapter of the American Red Cross. You can hold up your phone and scan that QR code that's on your screen. That will take you right to that link. In Greensboro, the Royal Banquet Hall, where 9 people, including 4 teenagers, were shot over the weekend, is now shut down. Police say they found a number of code violations, and the owner of the business has surrendered their alcohol license. 2 people are charged in connection with that shooting, 21-year-old Carlos Withers and 24-year-old Edward Lindsay III. Both are charged with going armed to the terror of the people. Withers is also charged with firing a gun within city limits and injury to personal property. Well, this evening, people in Greensboro were out on the streets pushing for change. They took part in a community walk. Participants wore white to symbolize peace and unity. 2 things organizers say can prevent things like this from happening in the future. The city's youth engagement director, Jeremiah Jett, says his hope is to reach people before things turn violent. Also in Guilford County, 1 man and 2 teenagers will face charges in connection with a shooting in High Point on Sunday. High Point police say officers found a teen shot at a home on Amos Street. Investigators believe that teen was injured near West Green Drive and Langford Avenue. The victim is now recovering. 19-year-old Jamarian Mebin and 2 teenagers who are 16 and 17 were both arrested. Police say the teens were later released to their parents because a system issue prevented their secure custody orders from being properly processed. What scares teenagers the most today? The answer might not be the one you most immediately think of. 5 Triad teens sat down with WXII-12's Wanye Reese for an unfiltered conversation about violence, social media, mental health, and the challenges of growing up in the year 2026. We believe you will find their honesty to be eye-opening. You can watch Our Kids, Our Future on Very Local and WXII12.com this Friday at 7 o'clock. The body of a Fort Bragg soldier who gave his life serving our country in the Middle East last month is now back in North Carolina. Sergeant Michael Swinton died July 19th in Iraq during a controlled detonation of an Iranian drone. He was just 30 years old, from Fayetteville originally, and had served in the military for close to a decade. Swinton was honored with a water cannon salute upon his arrival at Fayetteville Regional Airport earlier today.
He was incredibly kind, a goofball. Generous in his love, even going back to my son being a little boy because he was older than he is, and them swimming in the pool, him being coddling and nurturing of him even from a very young age. He's always had that instinct in him. Being a good father, being a good provider, being a good son, being a good friend. He was loved by everybody. There was nobody that could ever tell you that he was not kind and did not serve a beautiful purpose in their lives.
Sergeant Swinton's funeral is scheduled for this Saturday. For the first time in more than a year, Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools says it is in good financial shape headed into the start of a new school year. The district says it has successfully and finally eliminated the remainder of its one-time $45 million debt from the 24-25 school year. Earlier today, various school leaders got together to express their gratitude to the community and donors who helped to raise close to $7.5 million to reduce this deficit. Superintendent Dr. Don Phipps also acknowledged the difficult decisions that had to be made in order to get us to where we are now.
The losses are felt by us, by team and family members that aren't here anymore, certainly felt by them in terms of income that was lost and families that were impacted in some ways. It could have been that they found employment in other places, but there were changes that were necessitated due to that. We're not in a position right now to go back and restore all the eliminated positions. What we do want to do is to be very...
Phipps says the district does not expect to have to make any more position cuts, and he says money that was previously set aside for debt reduction will now help to cover staff raises. Well, most of King, North Carolina, is in Stokes County, but there's an issue with the small part of King that's in Forsyth County because of a damaged water main near Pofftown. If you live in that part of King, you may experience low water pressure or a temporary loss of water service. The City of King Water Department is assessing the damage and working on repairs right now. No estimated timeline for when things will get back to normal, but we are told crews will remain on site and will continue working until the repairs are finished. We also have an update from Winston-Salem, Forsyth County Utilities about last week's huge water main break in the eastern part of the county that impacted service for about 200,000 people. A spokesperson told us they may never know the exact reason why this big pipe failed. Engineers are evaluating the 50-year-old pipe in an effort to figure out some potential contributing factors. The department is also conducting an after-action review to better understand the incident and improve future response efforts. The utility spokesperson tells us it does plan to launch a new portal where customers can have the option of receiving text or email alerts during service disruptions and other emergencies. Firefighters